Hi everyone, I'm Gertie, and today I want to talk about two of my favorite glamour ghouls, Lily Munster and Morticia Addams. That's right, we're doing a fashion history of spooky bitches. So why these two? For me, I've always had a soft spot in my heart for Morticia Addams. To me, she is the indisputable queen of dark glamour. And as I was researching her, I was fascinated to find out how much she has in common with Lily Munster. I've also noticed that people seem to have a definite favorite when it comes to choosing between these two dark beauties. So let's do it here and now, a Lily versus Morticia Smackdown. For starters, their two shows, The Addams Family and The Munsters, launched a week apart from each other in the same year, 1964, and both took a horror comedy spin on the traditional family sitcom. They may both be icons of 60s pop culture, but interestingly, both of these two characters have their roots in 30s pop culture. Morticia first appeared in the pages of The New Yorker as drawn by cartoonist Charles Addams. As for Lily Munster, she takes clear inspiration from The Bride of Frankenstein, a 1935 film. In fact, these two characters had so much in common that it created a bit of a headache and conflict for showrunners. In the original pilot, Lily didn't even exist. There was a character named Phoebe, but it was decided that she looked way too much like Morticia Addams, so they had to make some quick changes. Another similarity is those fabulous gowns they both wore. I think it's really interesting that their fashion really took visual root in the 30s, just like the stories themselves did. 30s fashion was all about old school Hollywood glamour. Long, slinky, bias cut gowns. And you can really see that influence in the silhouettes that Lily and Morticia wore. When we look at Morticia, the 30s inspiration is especially clear. Look at that long, streamlined shape, and you can also see with the addition of the train how it took inspiration from a red carpet gown. Now, of course, there had to be some spooky elements added with that tentacle-like train and sleeve detail. When we look at Lily's dress, I see similar 30s inspirations, but there is also some medieval flair there as well. If we go back into our fashion history textbooks, you'll see a garment called the kirtle, which had really similar lines to Lily Munster's signature gown. An essential part of the medieval wardrobe, the kirtle had a fitted bodice, flowing skirt, and was worn over a chemise. And it had long but fitted sleeves. I see Lily's gown as taking inspiration from the medieval kirtle, but then taking on this sort of fantasy negligee aspect. To me, it makes a certain kind of sense that TV costume designers would be looking toward medieval fashion as inspiration. They were looking for something that said gothic, otherworldly, especially when contrasted with the bubblegum colors and bouffant silhouettes of the pop 60s. Something I really love about Lily is that the actress Yvonne De Carlo, who played her, took on the role when she was 42. I think she really had a sophisticated contrast to the 20-something starlets of her day. She's beautiful and she's powerful and she absolutely knows it. Meanwhile, what I love about Carolyn Jones as Morticia is she doesn't really try to oversell this vampy, sinister character. She and Gomez are passionately in love, and there's a sensual side to her, as well as a real sweet maternal side. I think this sweetness really distinguishes her from other dark glamour icons. Something both shows explore in different ways is this idea of non-conformity. We see a fun inversion of expectations where the Munsters and the Addams are normal people, whereas everyone around them are the weirdos, which is definitely poking fun at the idealized version of the 20th century family. I love that all of their neighbors and everyone they interact with find them really weird and frightening, but really, they're these well-adjusted, loving families. I think that's what makes this really powerful, is that they take these preconceived notions about what makes an idealistic family and completely turn them on their head. Of course, the irony here is that Gomez and Morticia were presented as the oddballs for being a married couple who actually liked each other. For reasons that I will never, ever, ever understand, both of these shows were canceled after just 2 seasons. But of course, over the years, they have gained cult-like followings with countless reboots. I think there's so much inspiration to be found in both Lily and Morticia, which is why we created the Morticia gown this season, as well as a Lily spin-off on it. If you're interested, check out the Bryant gown from Charm Patterns and then the free Morticia expansion on the Charm Patterns blog. If I had to choose between these two, I would say that Morticia definitely has my heart. There's just something about her dark playfulness that I just can't get enough of. But I want to know where you all land in this Smackdown. Are you Team Morticia or Team Lily? Now that's it for today. I hope I've given you a lot to feast on. I want to hear all about your sewing plans for Halloween. Are you going to be creating a Morticia gown, a Lily gown, or something else? Let us know in the comments. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.